with hurricane season always approaching, in my mind, it's very nerve-wracking.
Amy Sussman's nerves are hanging on a wire. These wires behind her Coral Gables home. The wood crossarms holding up the live wires are clearly weathered and cracked. And wouldn't you be extremely concerned as well if that rotten power pole there was just feet from where your kids play? FP&L is aware that that wood is that rotten?
They are.
I never have seen one that is this bad. And I'm not exaggerating.
Enrique Lopez is an electrical engineer. He's also the chairman of the City of Coral Gables Utility Task Force. The city is so concerned about scenes like this, the task force was set up to identify problems. FP&L swears this will be fixed. They say they'll be out here in 2 weeks, within 2 weeks to fix it. Is that acceptable?
Frankly, what I just witnessed, it's basically not acceptable, and it's a major liability.
How come in your routine maintenance that wasn't discovered?
Well, when you have 1.2 million poles and you're doing routine maintenance, you will have these kinds of issues out there, and we do thank our customers when they point them out to us.
But some say this is the perfect example of what's wrong with FP&L. Lopez says a lack of maintenance is caught up with the power giant. An FP&L contractor who didn't want to be identified for this story says many poles these days have too much weight on them. He showed us several poles around the gables he claims are rotten. The contractor claims when poles look like this at the top, they're usually rotting below the ground. We took a shovel and saw signs of rotting in the gables, and it's exactly what we found in Miramar. Underground, this pole was rotted to half the size.
The great majority of those poles that went down during Hurricane Wilma did not go down basically because they were in any way defective or, for that matter, in any way rotten. They went down essentially because you're dealing with a hurricane.
Our contractor claims inspections are only done if linemen are working in an area. The Public Service Commission says FP&L and Bell South need to inspect more, and they have agreed to an 8-year cycle. Now, next week, we have your questions for FP&L. Shouldn't upgrades have been made years ago? And why do customers have to pay for hurricane damage through rate hikes? In Coral Gables, Jeff Weinseer, Local 10.